Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site where you can win enormous cash prizes every week. You've already researched the players for your season-long fantasy team, especially if you're like Jamie and you're a serious dork about it. Turn that knowledge into instant cash at DraftKings.com. Last year, these are real numbers, one player turned $11 into $4,000 in one weekend. Another player won $100,000 his first time ever playing, and another player won $1 million in one day. Just playing fantasy football. I used to think fantasy football was ridiculous, but now I'm starting to understand it. It's like when I found out how much poker players made. I went, whoa, wait a minute. I used to say, poker? What? They're playing cards? Like a bunch of little kids? No. They're making stupid amounts of money playing fantasy football. That's real. I can't believe it. Like men, yeah. Keep your season-long league where it is, but also play one-week fantasy at DraftKings.com to win huge cash this weekend. Hurry. Get your entry into the Millionaire Maker event, where first place takes home $1 million. That's $1 million American real dollars, not like McDonald's bucks or fucking Chuck E. Cheese dollars or some shit. Head over to, is there a McDonald's dollar? I might have made that up. Head over to DraftKings.com now and enter the promo code Rogan to play for free to become a millionaire. Imagine if you win $1 million by entering the promo code Rogan at DraftKings.com for free. That would be ridiculous. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Rogan for free entry now at DraftKings.com. That is DraftKings.com. She sent me another one. The MeUndies one, which I'm wearing MeUndies right now, by the way. Not that you needed to know, but there's a new there's a new underwear sponsor. Where's the fucking MeUndies thing, man? See, that's why I hate when she sends me separate ones. Hold on a second, let me find it. MeUndies. They're the best underwear I've ever had. I can give you one without any preparation, but I'll tell you what. I didn't think anything of it. I used to buy cheap underwear. I used to buy underwear in like a package, those little plastic packages that you get at like Walmart or something like that. Just throw it in the cart and keep moving. But when they started sending me these MeUndies, I was like, what is it, just underwear? Like, what's the big deal? Well, this is one big deal. The average man doesn't change his underwear more often than every 7 years. That's ridiculous. Like, the average male buys a pair of underwear and keeps that rotten butt filter for 7 years. That's terrible. And they're not that comfortable. They also have that weird hole in the front that no one understands. That shit was made like during the Depression when people didn't understand how to really pee out of your like, what is that hole? Nobody uses that goddamn hole. I do. Okay? Do you use that hole?
Yeah, sometimes.
Shut up. Anyway, MeUndies.com is seriously the most comfortable underwear you have ever tried on. You will try these on and you will say, oh, they actually wick moisture away from your body. They feel perfect. They don't ride up on you. They pull moisture away from your skin so that you're cool all day long. I have them right now. I wear them every day now. It's the only underwear I wear now. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you try MeUndies.com, just give it a shot. Listen to me. Try it. And you will see that there are underwear that are better. It's like everything else. Like someone came along and they figured out the better mousetrap. They figured out how to make underwear better. Go to MeUndies.com/Rogan and get 20% off of your first order. That's 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Rogan. And you'll even get free shipping in the United States and our friends to the north in Canada. Free shipping up there as well. I guarantee you're going to be happy with them. They're the best underwear, seriously, I've ever bought. Go to get that 20% off. Go to MeUndies.com/Rogan. And last but not least, we are brought to you by Ting. If you go to Rogan.ting.com, you can save $25 off of any of the new Ting devices that they sell at Ting. What Ting is, it's a mobile site that it's a mobile service that uses the Sprint backbone, and they buy time on the network, on the Sprint network. So if you're on Ting, you're actually on the Sprint network, but you do it by Ting's rules, and Ting's rules will save you money. My bill last month was $18. Excuse me. Now, I don't do a lot of phone calls. I mostly text, but that's fucking ridiculously cheap. $18. And I go online all the time with it. $21 is the average monthly bill per device for Ting customers. $440 is the average annual savings per device for a business with 1 to 20 employees. That's pretty interesting. What's interesting to me is that companies are starting to it's actually 11 to 20 employees. A business with 11 to 20 employees, $440 is the average annual savings. What they've done is they figured out a way to make you feel better about your relationship with your cell phone provider. Like for a lot of people, cell phone provider is just this big company and they have their rules, and if you go over, it costs you money. There's a bunch of weird shit that goes on. Like if you want to cancel, you have to pay some sort of an early termination fee. Ting has removed all that. No early termination fees. No cancellation fees. You just cancel. That's it. If you don't want to be a part of them anymore, you're gone. You don't have contracts. You don't have any of that stuff. You use what you use, and that's what you pay for. You don't have like X amount of minutes per month. It used to be that you would buy a certain amount of minutes a month, like 100 minutes a month, and if you only use 70 of those minutes, you never got credited for those other 30 minutes. So Ting, they did it first. The first way they did it was to credit people. They decided to give people the money back and credit their next bill. And then they decided, like, why are we charging them for stuff they're not using anyway? Let's just set it up so that we charge people for what they use. And in doing so, you will most certainly save money. And it's the most logical and reasonable way to provide cell phone service, in my opinion. I don't see why anybody would not want to just do it that way. The only reason is it benefits the cell phone providers to charge you a fixed rate. Then when you go over that fixed rate, they hit you with an overage charge. And if you go under that fixed rate, it's to their benefit. So Ting cut all that stuff out. And they provide you with an awesome service, with a great company, using the Sprint backbone, and they do it completely ethically. And I like doing business with them. They're the official cell phone provider for this podcast. The phone that we use when I coordinate guests and make calls and stuff, all that stuff is all through Ting. If you go to rogan.ting.com, you will save $25 off of any of their devices. And they have all the finest Android devices in stock. Like the one that I have is the Samsung Galaxy S5, which is pretty awesome. And it has a lot of features that, like, even with the new iPhones that are coming out, doesn't have. Like, it's water resistant, which I don't understand why these people are making electronic devices that aren't water resistant when they can make ones that are water resistant. It just seems logical. If you go to rogan.ting.com, you can find all the various devices. And if you're a cheap person or frugal, or you're just one of those people that realizes, like, most of the time you don't really fucking need the latest and greatest and all this shit. It's just it's a fetish in a lot of ways. And if you're a weirdo and you like flip phones, they have those too. You can buy one of those Samsung M400s for $72. You can buy one of the older iPhones. You get an iPhone 4 for $112. Yeah. Or you can get an iPhone 5. They have iPhone 5s. iPhone 5S is coming. They have the Galaxy Note 3, the HTC One M8, which is an awesome phone as well. Anyway, rogan.ting.com. Go there. Save money. Be happy. All right, Graham Hancock is here. Why fuck around? Young Jamie, cue the music.
Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night. All day.
My friends, Graham Hancock. I'll take these off since you're not wearing them. Good to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you, Joe. Good to be back.
Good to see you returning from floating. I saw your tweet, which showed a picture of, looked like someone was in space.
Yeah, because that's how it felt. That's how it felt to me. Now, I have to thank you for this because you're the guy who turned me on to floating. I never did it before. You spoke to me about it last year. I was so harassed and so rushed. I never got a chance to do it. I thought I'd do it when I got back to England. It didn't happen. So I got in touch with your friend Crash few weeks before I came out here, and he very kindly fitted me in. And I think his place is called Float Labs Technologies, and they're in Venice Beach. So it's a totally new experience for me. And what made the experience even more surreal and special, because I'd asked for an appointment fairly late in the day, was that he needed more notice. He's constantly booked up.
Yeah,
so
isn't that amazing?
What he could give me was the 2 rooms, one for myself, one for my wife Santha, at midnight. 2 nights in a row. And actually there's something about floating at midnight which I think is really special.
I don't do any floating during the day.
Right. It's a really good time. It's a really good time to do it.
Yeah.
So we went along to Venice Beach and parked the car, and Crash came out and took us in. First of all, he showed us his collection of African masks. And he has got the most amazing, slightly fearsome collection of African masks up there. It's really incredible, actually.
Yeah?
This is a deep guy. He's
he's a trip.
Thinking about a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time in Africa. I've never seen a collection like that. It's just amazing. Dogon, some of the really fascinating peoples and their masks. Then he takes us down. He talks us through what it is. So, you go into this room. And in it, I've seen in some places they have like a pod where you close a lid over yourself, but that's not what he's got. He's got a bigger room than that, and there's a big